So you're 17 or 18 years old, and you're away from home and your friends, and you're wondering, is this the place for me? Are these the people I want to spend the next 4 years of my life becoming roommates and classmates with? Is this the place that's going to help me fulfill my dreams and offer me 4 years of fun and growth and 4 of the most memorable years of my life? And who the heck is this rando dude asking me all of these questions? I hope you'll let me explain. Fellow bombers and future bombers, my name is Kevin Connors, and I'm an Ithaca College alum, class of 1997. Way back in an era where the rock bands on those retro t-shirts you wear actually weren't retro. I'm a proud graduate of the Roy H. Park School of Communications, and I am honored to be speaking to you today. I'm coming to you from Studio E here at ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Perhaps you've heard of us. It's a place I only dreamed of working when I was in your shoes. In fact, it was beyond my realistic dreams when I first arrived at Ithaca. But those dreams became much more realistic and doable for me and so many others, in large part because of Ithaca. And I hope you'll take a moment to listen as I explain why. It's been 28 years since my days on the South Hill. I still have vivid memories of literally being where many of you are right now. My first visit to Ithaca, walking into the Park School for the first time back in 1992. I was you, unsure of how the movie would so much as start, let alone finish. But I knew I was in the right place, and I knew it when I experienced the magic of Ithaca, the magic of the Park School. Wait a minute, are you telling me I can DJ a shift or host a TV show and speak into a microphone and it will be broadcasted for people to see and hear? Where do I sign up and how do I fork over my parents' money immediately? And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, if I had to do it all over again, I would not change a thing. I made incredible friendships. Friends for life, friends who were a lot like me and a lot who were nothing like me. People I asked to be in my wedding, friends who've been there for me in happy times and sad ones, who have supported me in my professional journey, where good friends are essential. But those very peers also challenged me to develop the tools I needed to succeed at the highest level. You've heard the phrase, iron sharpens iron. That competitive spirit is a real thing at Ithaca, and it's not found everywhere. That environment was the beginning of my professional career. Now, obviously, I wasn't paid, but the habits I developed, the good enough isn't good enough attitude I needed just to host a radio show at IC, that was fostered when I began taking classes and working on shows at ICTV and WICB. And it helped me land my first job at a small independent cable news station where I reported and anchored and produced a documentary and even hosted a political talk show where I interviewed a senator from Delaware at the time who would go on to become the President of the United States. And it helped me land my next job at WCBS Radio in New York City, which led to my next job at WCBS TV, and it lives in me today here at ESPN. You know, some schools' Friday nights consist of drinking cheap beer on the lawn of a frat house. At Ithaca, mine were spent working on a depth chart of the Buff State football team in preparation for Saturday's radio broadcast of the game from Butterfield Stadium. Now, I'm not telling you at times I don't regret that decision. Maybe a lot. But deep down, I knew then, and I absolutely know now, I was taking the initial steps on my journey in what I wanted to spend my life doing. And I needed those Friday nights, working on my game notes to be prepared. I needed to match the quality of Jack Michaels or Dorian Lauer or whoever I was working/competing with, who, by the way, were doing the exact same thing. Now, at some point today, or maybe before today, you might have heard people talk about the Ithaca spirit. And it's something I think only those who are IC students or graduates or faculty members can fully relate to. But it's real, and it's a spirit that shapes individuals that professionals want to be around and organizations want on their team. It's a spirit you can find in the classrooms at Ithaca and on the sports fields. Heck, in the airport, when you pass someone wearing an Ithaca sweatshirt and they strike up a conversation about their special memories at IC. I can assure you that does not happen at every school. In fact, it happens in the hallways today and for the past 17 years here at ESPN. I've been incredibly blessed to work alongside Sports Hall of Famers, broadcasting legends, and incredibly talented people behind the camera. Some of the most talented people in the sports and sports media world, and very often that includes Ithaca grads. This past college football season, our ESPN halftime producer was a Bomber. I've hosted pre-home run derby shows from the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, where the show was overseen by a Bomber, and his boss was a Bomber, and our director was a Bomber. And when I wrapped up the show before going to a commercial for ABC World News Tonight, anchored by a Bomber, I turned things over to the voice of the Home Run Derby, who also happens to be a Bomber. And by the way, the man who signs all of our paychecks, Bob Iger, the CEO of the Walt Disney Company, is a Bomber. In the last 30 years, Ithaca has produced the voice of the New York Knicks and Islanders, the Edmonton Oilers, Pittsburgh Penguins, the voice of the Charlotte Hornets, the most popular sports media reporter in the business, and countless others in local and TV and radio, not to mention behind-the-scenes people, from entry-level employees on up to executives who help run the industry. That's almost an unrivaled lineup, and something we Bombers are incredibly proud of. And by the way, all of us trace our paths back to where you are today, right now, 17 or 18 years old, away from home, wondering, is this the place for me? Is this the place that's going to help me fulfill my dreams? It was for me. And I think if you're looking for a place where you will belong and be challenged to do great things in an environment that's safe and supportive and competitive, with a spirit only those of us who've come before you can fully explain, Ithaca might just be the place for you. Thank you so much for listening to me. I wish you all the very best in this process. And as always, it is a great day to be an Ithaca College Bomber.